What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to part 2 of my top 20 Wu-Tang albums of all time countdown. This is going to be albums 10 to 1. Just going to keep it moving right now. Number 10, my big controversial placement for this album. You gotta understand, this group has like so many masterpieces, not all of them can be ranked fairly. I love all of these records. So, number 10 is Ghostface Killah's second album, Supreme Clientele, from 2000. I think this is him at his best lyrical moment. That stream of consciousness writing style he does. I think he is the best at that. He's the master of it. And this is like the summit of him using that style. And I'm happy to have the original, which comes in the fucking glitter case. It's a used copy. The case itself is destroyed. But still happy to have it. And the track list on the back is absolutely ruined. But I have the album pulled up so I can read that off for y'all. Nutmeg with RZA, one of my favorite tracks. One, produced by Juju from Beat Nuts. Saturday Night, I like the storytelling on that one. Ghost Dini, the original version, produced by RZA. I have to say that's my favorite track on the album. That version is not on the US, it's on the international pressings. But it's the same beat that Ruthless Bastards used for the Swarm album. And then you get Apollo Kids with Raekwon after that. Soulful as a motherfucker. The Grain with the RZA. A $150 with Method Man and Redman. Mighty Healthy. Looking kind of a little more dark. Rain Ghost, Purple Tape co-host. He killed that. Stay True, produced by Inspector Deck. Deck killed that beat. I think he's underrated as a producer. What else? Malcolm, real grimy. Child's Play. Share Like Ghost, which is produced by Carlos Best. One of my favorite breakbeat record makers. Wu-Bang 101, which has like Jizza, Capadonna, Master Killa, and Raekwon. I think in that order. That's a really killer track. So, this album's production is just, I've never heard another rap album that's like this soulful sounding. And it's perfect for Ghostface's style. And it's number 10, Ghostface Killah Supreme Clientele 2000. And up at number 9, this might be my favorite Wu-Tang affiliate album, depending on how you look at the next one up. But it's Killer Army, Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, 1997. Killer Army is my favorite Wu affiliate group. 7 soldiers, you got Killa Sin, Don Pacino, Fourth Disciple, Beretta 9, Ninth Prince, Islord, Shogun Assassin. This case is fucking broke. Alright, we're good. Yeah, this sounds like an album that would have been put out in 95. It's got the classic grimy ASR 10 or EPS 16 Wu-Tang sound. It's all produced by Fourth Disciple except for like 2 tracks by RZA. So you get Dressed to Kill, The Clash of the Titans, Burning Season, Blood for Blood, the sample in that chorus. Fucking hair-raising. What else? Universal Soldiers, really soulful track. Wake Up, that shit is so fucking insane and dark. RZA did that one. Wu Renegades. My favorite track on the album, Full Moon. Just that, true to its title, that's like some real fucking like midnight music. Just the way it sounds. Camouflage Ninjas, Swinging Swords, Warface, which samples the iconic scene from Full Metal Jacket. 5 Stars, the closing track. Yeah, Killa Sin is my favorite Wu-Tang affiliate rapper. I wish he was free because a talent like him does not deserve to be locked up, and I think he's dope enough to be in the Wu-Tang Clan itself, which I think he should have been, because it would have helped him stay out of trouble. Anyways, Killer Army, Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, 1997. Fucking love that. And up at number 8, I guess it's like up to you if you consider this group to be a Wu-Tang affiliate. I feel like this is like a completely separate group. But at number 8, Gravediggaz, 6 Feet Deep, 1994. Supergroup consisting of RZA as the Resurrector, Prince Paul as the Undertaker, Too Poetic as the Grim Reaper, and Fruquan as the Gatekeeper. Check out those fucking fangs. This is my favorite Resurrector. When he had the fucking ASR 10, when he had the fucking lazy eye, It's fucking going crazy, man. So you get Just When You Thought It Was Over / Constant Elevation. Those tracks go together. Defective Trippin'. Love the Dallas Soul sample in that chorus. It just fits. Two Cups of Blood, Blood Brothers, 1-800-Suicide. So fucking just evil. My favorite track on this album, Diary of a Madman. And that was the song that introduced me to this record, featuring Shabazz the Disciple and Killer Priest from Sons of Man. Shabazz the Disciple's verse in there is in my top 10 verses of all time, and I would say the same thing with RZA's verse. Like, that is how wicked shit is done. But Mommy, What's a Grave Digger? Here Comes the Grave Diggers, Graveyard Chamber, which RZA produced and also Killer Priest. The title track 6 Feet Deep, which is like pretty different from the rest of the album, but I like it. And this is the US pressing. On the European pressing, it has a different title, which would definitely not get passed in this country. And a bonus track called Pass the Shovel, which comes before Diary of a Madman. Don't know why it's not here, but I still have that downloaded. And there's another track they made around this time, which I think would have been really cool to hear on here, is Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. I think that was recorded in '92, and not sure who would produce it, but it sounds like RZA might have done it. Anyways, Grave Digger, 6 Feet Deep, 1994. One of the most important albums in the wicked shit. I think it's like the first album that really brought the horrorcore shit to the public before, the Great Malenko blew up. You had this, and then like later on that '94, you had USA from Flatliners. So yeah, Grave Digger, 6 Feet Deep, 1994. Up at number 7, most fucking insane albums you will ever hear in your life. Old Dirty Bastard, Return to the 36 Chambers, the dirty version. 1995, it's the second Wu-Tang solo album in the 5-year plan. The first one was Method Man. The second one was Dirty. And at the time, these were like the two biggest stars in the group, so they had to be released back to back. So yeah, ODB is my top 5 Wu-Tang members. I'm happy he got his own record when the Wu-Tang was at the summit, because I think he's like one of the more aloof members of the group. Because like on Wu-Tang Forever, he's like on like only a few songs out of like 27 tracks, but he has a lot of features. But anyways, he kills it on this album lyrically. His whole personality and his charisma, ain't no flaw to his style is absolutely true. Because yeah, he was like saying shit and like doing shit on here that nobody else would do. Nobody else would have the balls to do it. He made it okay for motherfuckers to be, just be out there, just be themselves, just be, whatever. I think ODB definitely gave that the green light. When you get Shimmy Shimmy Ya, everyone knows that. Baby Come On, Brooklyn Zoo, done by True Master, Hippa to the Hoppa. If you have a good set of headphones or if you have a good system, the bass on that song sounds like a fucking earthquake. Raw High with Method Man and Raekwon. Damage with him and Jizza going back and forth. Great track. The Stomp. Only song I really don't like on this album is Drunk Game Sweet Sugar Pie. It's just completely different from like the rest of the album, and I don't know, it's just like doesn't fit with like the rest of the album's like themes and all that. But anyways, then you get Snakes with Killer Priest, Master Killer, and RZA. That's great. I think that's like the very first time Chipmunk Soul was like used in hip hop. I can't think of any other early examples, so I think RZA invented that shit. Then you get Brooklyn Zoo 2, Tiger Crane, which has Ghostface Killah. My favorite track on the album, Cutting Heads with RZA. That was recorded in '92. I love how he took the Clan the front beat, pitched it up a little bit, added some different samples to it. Yeah, some of it effective. Then on the CD you get a bonus track called Harlem World. It's like kind of dark. So yeah, Old Dirty Bastard, Return to the 36 Chambers, the dirty version. R.I.P. Dirt Dog. After he passed away, Wu-Tang was never the same. He was the real spirit of the group, and it's obvious. It's number 6. I think this is the best double album in hip-hop, and it's my favorite double album in all genres. Wu-Tang Clan, Wu-Tang Forever, 1997. Yeah, the long-awaited second full-length group album from Wu-Tang after Enter the 36 Chambers. This is like the 97 was like the year of the double album. Tupac had All Eyes on Me in '96, and I think he set the trend with there. And then he had Biggie doing Life After Death. Bone Thugs did like Art of War, but Wu-Tang Forever, I think is where it got bested. Lyrically, all the members are at their best. You know, those all those solo albums like really sharpened their fucking darts. You know, and RZA changed his production up a little bit on here. He went like he strayed away from like the sample based stuff. He went to more like synth focused stuff, and it works for him. It still sounds like Wu-Tang, even though it's a different production style. Still got those kung fu samples and all that. Still got samples in general, and yeah, fucking mind melting masterpiece. What's on here? Reunited, Double LP, we're all excited. For Heaven's Sake with Capadonna. I consider him an official member of the group by this point. Cash Still Rules, Scary Hours, Visions, Severe Punishment, my favorite track on disc 1. Not the music itself, I would say, but like the energy of that track just kind of reminds me of like the feeling, like the vibe of like 36 Chambers. But you got Older Gods, which is the introduction track for me on this album. I Better Tomorrow, It's Yours. And on disc 2 you get the intro with Triumph. The stuff the shit Riz is talking on that track is just more relevant than ever today. I think people need to listen to that and take notes. There's a lot of these fucking rappers out here getting the green light from fucking articles and stuff like that can't rap to save their life. But I don't pay attention to that. Then you get Triumph, which I think is like the best, to me, the best song in hip-hop history. Just like the lyricism on there is just out of here. Just 9 MCs with like just like no chorus. 5.5 minutes of just lyricism, just at its top quality. Then you get Impossible, which Ghostface kills that track. Little Ghetto Boys, the Projects, crazy beat on there. The MGM, Ray and Ghost track, Dog Shit, the ODB track. Hellswind Staff, oof. That's a track that this album that I've really started to love lately. Then you get Heaters with Capadonna, True Master murdered that beat. And, Black Shampoo is like, what the fuck? Why is that track on here? I mean, the album is like amazing up to that point, and then you just get like a couple of useless tracks like Second Coming and the closing, which I like the closing, but it's the outro. There's a different track. There's like a bonus track on the international version called Sun Shower. It's a RZA solo track. I think if they replaced Black Shampoo with that, no bad tracks at all on the album. But yeah, man, mind melting masterpiece. Yeah, this album just speaks for itself. Wu-Tang Clan, Wu-Tang Forever, 1997. Up at number 6. And up at number 5, it's gonna be Ghostface Killer Iron Man, 1996. Featuring Raekwon and Capadonna. The RZA for Wu-Tang Productions. This is the last solo album to come out before Wu-Tang Forever. It's really in the same vein as Only Built for Cuban Links with some differences. Like instead of like sampling like mafia movies, like they use like blaxploitation movie samples, which is like more or less the same thing. And I think that this album is like what really popularized that whole trend, because rappers in the underground nowadays sample blaxploitation films all the fucking time. But yeah, I think this is like where that whole, I think it's like the nucleus of that whole trend. You know, you get Iron Maiden. That has Ray and Capadonna on it. Wildflower. Faster Blade, the Raekwon track. Assassination Day with Inspector Deck. Like RZA, Raekwon, and Master Killer. Ghost ain't even on that. But man, RZA and Raekwon killed it. What's on here? Poisonous Darts. Winter Wars with You God. Who else on there? Raekwon, Master Killer, Capadonna. Another You God kind of gets shitted on by a lot of people, but he killed it on that track, and Capadonna on there is in my top 5 verses of all time. Fish, done by True Master, I like that track. Fucking crazy beat. Kame, Daytona 500, which is the introduction track on this album for me. Motherless Child, I think Raekwon's on there. I think Capadonna's on there too. After the Smoke is Clear, All That I Got Is You, obviously. The Soul Controller, which is only on the original CD, as well as the cassette and the vinyl. I'm happy I had this. I got it for a good price years ago. And that track is just real dark. But on the CD version, it ends with Marvel. So, Ghostface Killer Iron Man 1996. RZA's production here was like a little different. It's still sample-based, but it's a little more polished compared to like the rest of the albums. But yeah, this is Ghostface's best moment as a solo artist. You know, This is like only built for Cuban Links held up to a mirror. Like it's like the brother of the album. So you get Ghostface Killer Iron Man from 1996 at my number 5. And number 4, I have no idea why people are just fucking, just, downplay, just dismiss, and just fucking insult this album. It makes no sense to me because this is like one of the grimiest fucking albums you will find. In just all genres, man. If this is like a real influential album to me, I will always defend it. Number 4, Method Man to Cal, 1994. The first Wu-Tang solo album. Technically the second if you would count Words from the Genius. This is the first one after the Wu-Tang debuted, though. Method Man had to go first because after that subtitle track on 36 Chambers, became like the shining star of the group along with like ODB, etc. Yeah, man. Man. RZA is at his darkest here. I mean, the production here just feels like an abandoned boiler room you walk into at like fucking midnight. And RZA just set up his ASR 10 and started making beats in it. And Method Man just recording his whole album in like that kind of setting. Imagine that. That's what this whole album sounds like. Dark, murky, unnerving. And Method Man's like raspy, like blunt-ridden voice is perfect for the production. So you get the opening track to Cal, little dark track. Bring the Pain might be my favorite song on here, even though it was the big hit. All I Need, the album version, which I prefer. With a blood clot. Oof. I like the outro on there. If you listen carefully, like RZA and Meth are talking about like how this fucking crazy time where ODB fucked a bitch with a napkin on his dick because like couldn't find a rubber or something. Man, there's no one like him. I love that story. Meth vs. Chef, the battle track with Raekwon. Sub Crazy, just sounds like it was being like a fucking factory, that track. PLO style. If not, Bring the Pain. My other favorite track on here is Mr. Sandman. With like RZA, Deck, Ray, Street Life, and Carlton Fisk. Carlton Fisk killed that track. And that beat is just fucking dark. It's just so dark and like unnerving. Stimulation, which is one of my favorite drum breaks. And they get the Method Man remix called the Skunk Mix. So yeah, Method Man to Cal 1994. Put some fucking respect on this record. I think it's a mind-melting masterpiece. It's dark, right up my fucking lane. Coming in at number 4. Alright, number 3. This is a number 1 for a lot of people. But I think, to me, this is the best album ever created. Not only in hip-hop, just all genres considered. Where it all started, man. Wu-Tang Clan, Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers, 1993. I mean, this album just speaks for itself. It's one of those albums. It's like on the same like legend status as like Nevermind, Thriller, Dark Side of the Moon, Sgt. Pepper, etc. There's no art shown here. There's Black Haze. But anyways, yeah, it's my favorite Wu-Tang album. I think production point is their best album, but I think lyrically Wu-Tang Forever is the best. But yeah, this is where it started. At all, you get Bring the Ruckus, the very first track you hear, fucking brutal. Clan in the Front, the Jizza track. My favorite on the album, my favorite Wu-Tang Clan group song, Seventh Chamber, the first version. The Mystery of Chess Boxing, Master Killer's verse at the end of that song is my number 1 favorite rap verse of all time. Just that, when I heard that, it just fucking inspired me like a motherfucker. Yeah, Wu-Tang Clan on the Fuck With, obviously. Cream, obviously. Method Man, obviously. Protect Your Neck, obviously. And then, like I mentioned on part 1, the song Tears was my introduction to Wu-Tang. That's the first song of theirs I heard. And then at the end of that album, you get a part 2 of Seventh Chamber, which is a remix. And mind-melting masterpiece. I'm happy this album is in the Library of Congress, finally. It's just universe-changing music. Wu-Tang, Enter the 36 Chambers, 1993. And then number 2. For a good while, this was my favorite Wu-Tang album. Yeah, but in like the recent years, it's fallen down to number 2. But anyways, what is number 2? Jizza, Liquid Swords, 1995. Man. No words. Just insane. Jizza on here is, I think he puts on the best performance lyrically of any Wu-Tang album. He puts raps together like he's a fucking poet. It's like ain't lyricism, this is like poetry. RZA's production on here is just insanely dark, insanely grimy. RZA was out of his fucking mind when he made the beats for this album. He was like in a different dimension. I gotta pull this out again because on the back of this CD, like it's all like shuffled. But you get Duel the Iron Mike with ODB, Master Kill, and Inspector Deck. Not only my favorite track on here, my favorite song of all time in all genres considered. I think I said that in my Part 5 CD collection. But what else is on here? Living in the World Today. Labels, like, really like that song, how he did it. Fourth Chamber. When I hear that synth and like those guitars, I lose my fucking shit. Shadowboxing with Method Man. Killer Hills 10304. Swordsman. That beat. God damn. Sounds fucking evil. Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth, the Killer Priest track. Yeah, man, this is one of those albums that should be in the Library of Congress with 36 chambers. Lyrically, this is like pretty much like a rapper's like manual 101 for starting your rapping career. This is where you should start to learn how to MC. Lyrically, Jizza is that good on this record. Jizza Liquid Swords 1985 at my number 2. And number 1, if you've been paying attention to like what albums I've been talking about, what else is there other than Raekwon, Only Built for Cuban Links, guest starring Tony Starks, aka Ghostface Killer, The Purple Tape, the fucking album that set off the mafioso rap trend in the mid to late 90s. Yeah, G-Rap started it first, but this is where it took off. It's my second favorite album of all time. And just putting it out there, you get Knowledge God, Criminology, Incarcerated Scarfaces, Guillotine Swords, Ghostface and Deck on that shit. Fuck. Shark Biter is one of my favorite skits in hip hop. Like I said about the intro of Wu-Tang Forever, these fucking rappers nowadays need to sit down and take notes about that skit. Because a lot of people, I think like the whole biting law kind of gets forgotten about nowadays. But after that, you get my favorite track on the album, Ice Water with Ghost and Capadonna. RZA's beat on that is just unreal. Glaciers of Ice, Master Killer again. Him on there is like in my top 3 verses of all time. Verbal Intercourse with Nas, legendary song. Really like different, like off kilter kind of beat, but it's really cool. Spot Rusher, shout out to that song. It doesn't really get talked about. Ice Cream, obviously. Wu Gambinos with like Method Man, RZA, Master Killer, Ghostface Killer. Classic. Heaven and Hell. Yeah, my second favorite album of all time. And I have it. The fucking Purple Tape. This is the original from 1995 and ain't the fucking Watchbox reissue. This is the real one that came out the day the album was released. So, that's my top 20 Wu-Tang album of all time countdown. Thank y'all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this stuff. And until then, I'm out of here.